say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
Survey time. Yeah. Who walked the streets of Opalaka with like 5 chains? From the first, hey yo, he took over the game. Smoking Cubans, man, you swore that he was Cuban. Swag before swag, man, the machismo was oozing. I'm still a teen, walking around with a toothpick. Calling teachers Chico, trying to be like my hero. Razor, such an extraordinary player. So much flavor, nobody could do it greater.
Yo, what is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, ladies and gentlemen of the free world. It is me, G1 to the rescue with the energy, the elevated creative, your baby mama's favorite, whatever you want to call me. And of course, I represent the Southwest Authority on wrestling, hip hop, and everything in between. Welcome to episode 211, not to be confused with Steel Reserve beer, which if you're still drinking that right now, yikes. But welcome to episode 211 of Mania podcast. I am G1 to the rescue. At the moment, I'm flying solo. A couple of our guys are running a little bit behind. So we know we'll have 1 or 2 in soon, but it's okay. Other than that, I have no problem flying the flag for the crew. This is not something that happens very often. So you get a little bit of me on the personal side, until further notice. And in the mean and in between, we're going to do how we always do. Y'all already know what type of show this is. This is the uncut, raw, uncensored recap and vibe in regards to pro wrestling and hip hop culture. So couple of things just want to kind of get out the way. First and foremost, this is a Random Beats podcast. Shout out to Mega Ran, the innovator of Matt Mania podcast. He's currently on tour right now. Check him out. He's all through the Midwest at the moment. Definitely hit up Mega Ran on all the social media platforms. Hit him up online, see where he's at. Go see his show. Pick up some of that merch. Do what you do. Also, this is a Geekscape.net podcast. Shout out to Matt Kelly and the good guys at Geekscape.net. We are sponsored by both entities, so please support all Geekscape, I can't even say the word correctly, podcasts, including us here at Matt Mania. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a personal put over. So you guys already know we do the put over where we talk about something non-wrestling related throughout the week that we love and enjoy. So since it's only me in there, I get it cracking. So this week alone, I've indulged in so many different things, but I took a back step to something that I had not got around to really diving into and watching over the last couple of years, and I don't know how. And I've watched every other Star Trek series available on Paramount Plus, and I started watching Star Trek Picard at the beginning when it came out, and this is about Star Trek Picard. So I started watching Picard at the very beginning when this came out in about 2020, but it was January 2020 when the show came out, and obviously that was right before the COVID happened and the big pandemic kicked off, right before my final separation leading into my divorce, but that's a whole nother conversation. So it was like 2 years straight. I didn't really feel like I had the time and energy to deep dive into Picard, because I knew Picard as a show was going to be much deeper than any other Star Trek series out there. Granted, Discovery, shout out to the cast of Star Trek Discovery, including the beautiful black Sonequa Martin Green, the Queen Sonequa Martin Green. And there's some deep moments in there too. But for those of us whose introduction to Star Trek was The Next Generation, like Captain Picard, rather Admiral Picard at this point, is our guy. So I basically decided to take a step back in lieu of the 3rd season getting ready to drop at the top of next year. I took a step back and I watched the first 2 seasons of Star Trek Picard. Let me tell you, this show is a lot deeper within the lore than I thought. It's a really well put together show. It's not a boring show. Patrick Stewart at about 80 some odd years old is literally still peak top tier acting this role that he's technically been tethered in for so many years. and he still does it to perfection, and I love that about him. He's a really great guy. So these first 2 seasons have really carried me in the loop. I'm not gonna spoil a lot. I'll just say, if you are a Star Trek fan, or fuck it, even if you're not a Star Trek fan, please go to Paramount Plus, watch Star Trek Picard. You will love it. It's a fire show. Definitely brought back a lot of memories, because there are some cameo appearances from the TNG cast, the other members of the TNG cast, like Commander Troy and Commander Riker, and you'll see more going into season 3, which what I understand is the final season of Picard, which is understandable. Something like that only needed 3 seasons. So yes, please go to Paramount Plus. Please check out Star Trek Picard whenever you can. All right. Now that we've gotten that little bit of business out the way, let's talk wrestling and until some other people get in here, which we clearly have a lot to talk about in the world of wrestling. I want to kind of start off with AEW. Obviously, everything in terms of headlines has all been kind of centered around AEW. We know that MJF has returned. He's the devil. He's got a new crew now, which the title of this particular episode will be firmed is, because MJF has a whole new crew alongside Stokely Hathaway and a crew that he calls the Firm, which consists of the recently signed W. Morrissey, formerly known as Big Cass, for those of you big fans of WWE, Lee Moriarty, friggin' All Ego Ethan Page. Yeah, it's a crazy stable, super crazy stable. And MJF himself, man, and we see the effect that it's starting to have on. MJF hasn't been in any matches yet. We know that we're gonna have to wait on that, and that's gonna have to build. But he's doing a good job of putting himself back into that main event picture. He's the greatest asshole on TV right now, and I fucking love it. Shouts out to MJF, really dope stuff. So yeah, man. This is now 2 or 3 weeks post All Out, post everything that's happened, post all the fallout, post all the suspensions and stuff like that. There were a couple of suspensions lifted. We know one of the gentlemen that was proven to have helping broke up the fight, who I think is either one of their referees or one of their coaches. They had brought him back in already, so that's already null and void. Rumor has it that CM Punk may not be coming back. It's tough. I don't know what the specifics are necessarily, but there have been reports that are saying that CM Punk may be looking into a buyout of his AEW contract. Man, and we didn't get the Summer of Punk necessarily because he was injured, and those type of things happened. And he's been injured a couple of times since he's been in AEW, and it's just like, man, at this point, it's like he was there, but it doesn't feel like he was part of the roster. It feels like him being there was more of like a limited time guest appearance type thing, which I guess is cool, but it's CM Punk. Guys like myself who grew up fans of CM Punk, we wanted to see him, really run with the title, really have some more stellar matches. He unfortunately missed Forbidden Door. We were about to get one of the greatest matches at Forbidden Door. And it was just, everything just kind of blown away. And then he comes back, and then he injures himself, and then you already know the rest that happened. And if you don't know, definitely go look it up. You can see that whole media scrum everywhere on the internet. It's crazy. But yeah, during CM Punk's current suspension and him being on the injury reserve necessarily, there's a possibility that CM Punk, injured or not, just may not be coming back. And it may be just his choice not to come back. So, and that would suck. But also we do have to realize that there was an AEW before CM Punk, and there will be an AEW after CM Punk. And it's not to take anything away from CM Punk and all of his contributions to the world of wrestling, but it's just to say, if in the midst of all that, your personal business just kind of gets filtered into something, a place to just where it doesn't belong, and if it's really like that serious and we're all not being worked, then it's like, man, I don't know, and then if you keep getting injured or whatever, it's like, man, I don't know, maybe you do need to just relax for a minute, whatever the situation may be. I would love to see CM Punk have another great run, but if we gonna get that type of vibe, and if it's gonna be a situation where as soon as we get excited he gets injured again, then it's like, what do we do? What do we do at that point? So again, there's so many other things to cover in the wide world of wrestling, and that was just one piece of it. We have new tag team champions as of yesterday. Brand new World AEW tag team champions as of yesterday. Shouts out to the 5-tool player Anthony Bowens and Platinum Max Caster, aka the Acclaimed, for finally fulfilling their dream of winning the AEW Tag Team Champions as a homegrown AEW tag team. Man, gotta love it. We're gonna clap it up for them. And we're gonna drop a bomb for Daddy Ass because he got involved. Shout out to Billy Gunn. I've really been impressed with Billy Gunn's run with the Acclaimed and everything, because what makes this special is, y'all know how long Billy has been around, and he's just been given some so gimmicks or whatnot. I like that AEW is just kind of letting him be him, and it kind of feels loosely like his DX self. Like, Billy Gunn is over again because of his affiliation with the Acclaimed and the Scissor Me Daddy Ass and all of that stuff. First of all, let me just say this: the fact that a team could get away, or any wrestler could get away with the words "Scissor Me Daddy Ass" on national television, what the hell, is some of the most hilarious shit I've ever known in my life. And that's part of the reason I'm really enjoying this run with the Acclaim. And it looks like we'll be seeing a lot more because they got the straps now. And Swerve and Lee, aka Swerve in Our Glory, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, have almost kind of solidified themselves as heels in a way. It's like you don't want them to be heels because you love them so much, but Swerve is a quality heel. We've never necessarily seen Keith Lee in so much of a heel role, but I'm sure next to Swerve, he could probably get it done. And they both are athletic as hell. They both put on a great that match. The first match between Swerve and Our Glory and the Acclaim was fire. This match here was just completely stepped it up a notch, and the build-up was there, the storytelling was there in physical form. Everything about that match was solid and completely down to a science of just really, 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 really good wrestling. We seen a great match with Pac and Orange Cassidy. And for those of you that don't know what I'm referring to some of the events of yesterday's AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, which of course for the second year took place at the Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York. Shout out to NY. That seems to be a big venue for AEW, and I'm sure year by year they'll keep coming back there. If you're listening to this episode on stream, on your Spotify's or your Apple Podcasts, we're recording this episode live on Thursday, which means tomorrow, Friday, you'll get the Rampage Grand Slam. It'll be a 2-hour Rampage where we'll also see the in-ring debut of one of my favorite rappers, Action Bronson. He'll be teaming up with Hook to go against the Jericho Appreciation Society's Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo Parker, formerly known as 2.0. So that's going to be a lot of fun match. Also, I really want to say this real quick. whoever's decision it was to have Daddy Magic, Matt Menard do commentary on Dark Elevation next to Excalibur, I think that was one of the coolest things that you could have done. Because for those of you that don't watch AEW Dark or Dark Elevation, first of all, I encourage you to watch it because then you get to see kind of the upbringing of some of these other stars that may not necessarily get that TV time, but they're still being watched amongst, over 200,000 followers Mondays and Tuesdays on YouTube. But anyway, AEW Dark Elevation, as of the last few weeks, I feel like maybe 3 or more weeks, commentary on Dark Elevation on Monday nights has been going to Excalibur and Daddy Magic. And when I tell you Daddy Magic is entertaining as fuck on commentary, he is extremely entertaining, man. Shout out to Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. Because him and Taz on regular Dark on Tuesdays is bad enough, but then you get Daddy Magic in the building, and that's a whole nother scenario. It's really fun. Shows are free on YouTube. I strongly encourage you to go watch them. AEW Dark Elevation commentary with Excalibur and Daddy Magic. Now, getting back to the Dynamite Grand Slam. Also, a really cool thing that happened yesterday was we seen, after 5 long years away from the ring, Paige is no longer Paige. She's just back to being good old Saraya, and she is all elite. She is officially a part of the AEW roster, which obviously is going to mean that at some point, the artist formerly known as Paige, aka Saraya, will be making her AEW in-ring debut against who? Who knows? But it will be fun to see if she still got it in the ring after 5 years away from the ring. And I'm almost sure she does. She was brought up in wrestling. So I don't really put it past her that she'll be a strong addition to AEW, but only time will tell, if the injuries and all that sort of thing, aren't a factor at this point. But also I feel like if Bryan Danielson and on the WWE side, Edge can get through what they've got through in terms of, injuries and whatnot, and for them to still be able to do what they do on their own terms, then I'm sure that Paige is most likely ready at this point, and we're going to see a very different, and let me not say Paige, Saraya at this point, we're going to see a very different Saraya. She's going to be able to let loose a bit. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it, man. Once again, this is Mad Mania Podcast, episode 211. I am G1 to the rescue. I am not being joined by anybody at the moment, so I'm rocking it solo today. I just got through recapping a little bit of the AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. We got Rampage Grand Slam tomorrow. Fire stuff. Also, going back to that women's match, which I didn't get around to talking about, before we even got to the Saraya debut, we ended up getting a new interim AEW Women's Champion crowned in the form of Athena, which is interesting because there hasn't been a lot of story build up in terms of Athena being in the title picture. Do I think she deserves it from an athlete standpoint? Hell yeah, absolutely. Athena is Athena. She's dope. We've been watching her for a while. We know what it is, but the other half of that is, a lot of the beef since Athena has been in AEW has been with her and Jade Cargill. And I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where in that she ended up winning the belt, but I guess we'll see what that comes on. We'll see how that works in the future. But for now, I am joined by my good brother and my Matt Mania Podcast co-host, co-star, my brother in this, my partner in this, Teak motherfucking Hall, the villain, Squid Gang in this bitch. What's going on, Teak?
What's good with you, man?
What's up, man? I kind of
came straight home from work and went to sleep.
Look, I don't blame you. Probably needed that rest. I understand that. Hell yeah, man. But yeah, man, I kind of kicked off
answering questions or something.
I kind of within the first 20 minutes, I kind of gave my own put over, and I kind of just gave my thoughts on a few things that happened during the Dynamite Grand Slam yesterday. Obviously, we're only 20 minutes in. We got plenty of time to get into it, get back into it, do flips and upside down. First, because you were just coming in, I want to throw it to your put over. If you got one, what was something within the world of wrestling, well, outside of the world of wrestling this week that you thoroughly enjoyed?
What was your put over?
My put over in this case was Star Trek Picard, because I'm just now watching both seasons in full from when I started it in 2020. Granted, I've seen every other Star Trek series, but just now really dove into Picard on the eve of season 3, which is coming February of next year. So I just wanted to already be caught up, and I'm now midway into season 2, and I love the show more than I thought I was gonna love it. So,
can you still see me?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I guess my put over would be I started watching this show called The Patient on Hulu.
Okay.
With Steve Carell.
And, hey, that's my dude.
And I guess his name is Domhnall Gleeson.
What a name.
It's Domhnall. I don't even know how you get those letters to pronounce next to each other. But no, the show is dope. It's about Steve Carell is a therapist, and he's one of his patients. He's been coming in to see him, and then one day Steve Carell wakes up and he's chained up inside this guy's basement. It's a finished basement, so it's a bed and carpet and stuff down there or whatever. But he wakes up in a strange place, chained up, and then the dude walks in, and it's the patient who's been coming to see him, and he basically kidnapped him so that he can give him therapy at home, because what he has an issue with is that he likes to kill people, and he said that he has an urge and a need to kill people, and he wasn't able to tell Steve Carell these things at his therapist's office. It wasn't allowing him to open up and tell the truth, so he kidnapped him and brought him to his house so that he can give him therapy there and basically try to help him figure out what's going on with this need to kill people. So it seems like a pretty dope show. I done watched 2 episodes of it so far.
I've noticed Steve Carell recently has been making his transition. Like, he'll still do the comedy stuff every now and then, but I noticed that he's been making his transition into more like serious roles. So, and he does a really good job at it. Like, it's, what I'm saying? It's kind of that, like, you'll see certain emotions in his face. Like, when he's scared, he genuinely looks scared. When he's in deep thought, he's genuinely in deep thought. Like, it's little things that I noticed with Steve Carell acting in serious roles that I genuinely enjoy. So, yeah, I have to tap into that, man. The patient.
He's got the grays going right now. So, I mean, he got the gray beard or whatever. He's going for to his older status. So, yeah, so, man.
We absolutely please check that out. The Patient, Hulu, peep it. Yeah, we got that early gray Steve Carell when Space Force came out. We started to get a glimpse of them grays, and we seen that our man was getting a little bit older. I still wouldn't mind another season of that. There were parts of that show that are like extremely funny, and I just feel if they elaborated on those, it would be even crazier. But yeah, definitely check out The Patient, Hulu, Steve Carell, good stuff. But yeah, man, going back into the Dynamite Grand Slam, man, I was kind of going into my thoughts on a few things. First and foremost, you already know we got new tag champs.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Because everybody loves the Acclaim, right? So it was time.
And AEW seems to be going full along with the I don't know if it's just with the New York shit because they predominantly on the East Coast, but it's like with having Who Kid there and having Fabulous there, you know, that it had Action Bronson there. He about to do a match like
he'll be
West Side Gun. Like you got to, I mean, and even though they had you know, Jermaine Dupri and what's his name on there, Kevin Gates.
Yeah,
they didn't within the past couple weeks. They had a lot of musical guests there, either in the crowd or actually in the show, and predominantly rappers. So,
you know what I think is happening? I think that because there's a lot of people within the AEW roster, black, white, or other, that are kind of tapped into, you know, the hip hop culture, whether it be for the music's sake, whether it be for the fashion sake, or whatever the situation may be. And I think a lot of them are bringing this to the attention of Tony Khan. And granted, Tony's a young dude as well. You know, I'm sure it's not everything, but I'm sure it's some things and some people that he listens to. I'm sure it's some folks that he knows very well. And yeah, I think it's another way to elevate AEW as the brand that's for the culture. Like, look what they've shown us only in a few short weeks. You know what I mean? So that part of it is really cool. Like they've had special guests in WWE. And there's been some really great special guests, you know, Snoop and Timbo and so many others. But this is different because AEW is doing is they're tapping into the culture as it pertains right now, and that's the beautiful part of it. Yeah, but yeah, man, I look forward to the day that the Acclaim won the tag belts, because as we all talked about before on another episode, the Acclaimed is essentially a homegrown AEW tag team. They came in AEW and they were literally two separate wrestlers, and they were put together by Tony Khan. And I've been blessed since I tune into Dark and Dark Elevation on a weekly basis. I've been blessed to watch their uprising over the last 2.5 years or so. I've been blessed to watch them grow into the entity that they are now. And they just joking around, being themselves, doing their thing. And man, these reactions that they get city to city are just insane.
Well, yeah, that was kind of something that I had mentioned earlier in the group chat when I said that we compare them to DX kind of because of the innuendo, but they're really like they're only toned down as far as look and seriousness goes. But as far as innuendo, I feel like they're way past DX was.
Yeah.
And that's hilarious because we always compare like, oh, DX suck it to Scissor Me Daddy and shit like that. And like, oh, the Acclaim was going to have shirts that's going to get the kids kicked out of school. When I was watching the Grand Slam, it was kids out there that had cardboard scissors that they made at home. Cardboard scissors that they was out there.
Yeah, I seen it.
While the Acclaim was coming out talking about swerving in the glory hole and shit.
The rap.
Like, whoa, this is crazy.
Oh, the rap was hilarious. I was like, no, he didn't.
Right. And I'm like,
that had me rolling, bro.
Like, the first thing you show before the Acclaim come out is a whole bunch of kids in the crowd and they pink and black. And then you show Max Caster rapping that crazy shit.
And how do you explain the concept of Scissor Me Daddy Ass? How do you explain what that means to kids?
I can't wait to buy me a Scissor Me Daddy Ass shirt.
Right.
Now also, hold on, because the shirts that I saw people wearing at Grand Slam only said Scissor Me Daddy, but I thought they had a shirt that said Scissor Me Daddy Ass, don't they?
Yeah, at the very bottom is there's a depending on, I think there might be only one shirt, but I think it says Scissor Me Daddy Ass. I hadn't seen just a Scissor Me Daddy shirt.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're doing that because remember in the beginning the Scissor Me Daddy Ass shirt was kind of like graffiti, like spray painted look, and now these ones is streamlined where it's just Scissor Me Daddy with the stars on it. So I wonder if they took
maybe that's the
for kids and stuff or whatever, you know.
It still don't make it no better. If you talking about
Right.
scissoring, you might as well say ass at that point.
It say scissor me daddy, but no ass on it. But I can't wait to get me one of those shirts so somebody can look at me crazy or wonder what it says.
Hell
you
yeah.
Definitely can't wear, these kids can't wear that shirt in school.
Nah. Suck it was bad enough. And then what makes it fun, again, how do you even explain what that is to kids?
How do you explain what that is to an adult?
Oh, did you also see that the Acclaimed has jerseys now? And
the
they're
Platinum Max Caster jersey.
They got they have jerseys. They're selling those on them. The plain just Acclaimed and the pink lettering with the number. Those are fire.
It say Acclaim on the front, but it say Platinum on the back.
Platinum on the back. Yeah, I need one of them jerseys. Them boys are sick, man.
And then yeah, man. So that and all of the scissoring gestures, everybody doing the scissoring. So the kids is out there doing that with each other.
I know. It's just like, man, every time I see a bunch of kids doing that shit in the audience, I literally just feel for their parents because I'm just like, man, they're going to have to explain this one day or whatever day they find out what scissoring is. It's going to be like, really?
I saw Who Kid on Instagram saying something like he didn't think that it was legal to scissor 4,000 people or 40,000 people at one time or something.
Yo, shout out to DJ Who Kid. Because I didn't even know that Who Kid was a wrestling fan like that for even be popping up. In Fabulous's case, his son Joso is a wrestling fan. He said that on numerous occasions. So
I remember when he showed his son's bedroom, and his bed was a wrestling ring.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah! So I'm sure that was just kind of a labor of love for him to walk out with the Acclaim. But you said Who Kid said, I didn't know that scissoring 40,000 people was legal.
Yeah, no, Fabulous walked out with Swerve in Our Glory. He picked the wrong team. Who Kid came out with the Acclaim.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, we know how that went down. Boom,
but it was a fire match. It was an even more fire match than the first time they fought. The first time they fought was a fire match. This was an even more fire match. Like all of the in-ring dramatics, not the stuff building up to it. All of the in-ring storytelling was there in this second match. Like it was really.
I think the first match might have been better as far as wrestling quality goes, but I think the what do they say? Like the suspense, you could cut it with a knife,
That's what I'm saying.
This match, because it was like the crowd wanted them to win last time. It was let down. So in this rematch, the crowd knew that they were going to win, and the crowd made sure that you knew that they was going to win. All the "Scissor Me Daddy" chants and all the shit that was going on, it was like the crowd was waiting for it. They were salivating for the Acclaim to win.
There was a moment where I thought that, damn, are they not going to get it this time either? There was a moment in the match to where the Acclaim's getting the upper hand. Both of them go up to the top rope at the same time. We see Anthony Bowens from the right side deliver a flying blockbuster to I think that was Swerve in the ring at the time, and then it looked like Max was gonna come off the top rope with the elbow, but then he ended up landing on his feet and fucking up his leg, fucking up his knee. And I'm like, damn. And I get that it was in-ring storytelling for the suspense, but that's part of wrestling. It's like, yo, are they not gonna win this time either? Did he really fuck up his leg on the way down? And then obviously we seen the finish. It was just a big pop and crazy. But yeah, man, AEW's for the culture. Clearly, they deep diving. They in the bag of guest appearances and anything that can muster up by some of hip hop's best. So that's really cool. I want to send a shout out to my boy Josh Molesky. That shit is hilarious.
and I like that that Billy Gunn hit the Famouser for them to win.
Yo, did you pop the way I did? Because I'm talking about Famous on the outside of the ring. I was like, hell yeah, definitely.
It was just the fact that that the Acclaim, they're not. I mean, they're tweeners. You know, they're not faces or heels. I mean, for the crowd, they faces, but they ain't got a problem competing. You know.
Yeah, they're definitely heels. It's a different approach to a heel, but I would definitely see them more so as heels, or maybe just anti-hero.
Yeah,
Baby
that's what an in-betweener is. A tweener, you know, they in the middle. They'll do some dirty shit, but then they'll do some shit to make you laugh or whatever. It's kind of like how they trying to play MJF right now, you know,
because he's the devil, but they all love him. They all cheering for him and everything like that.
Exactly, they all Satanists.
We got a quick question that was directed at both of us. Joshua Molesky, again, shout out to my boy Josh. He says, question: both teams are dope as fuck, but as far as your personal preference, who are your favorite tag teams currently out there? TQ, you want to kick off that answer?
No, I'm thinking you can go ahead and take that.
I could tell you just out there in general in the world of wrestling. First off, and in no particular order, Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, because they had disbanded for a while and they were both kind of doing different things. Shelley was still wrestling full time. Chris Sabin was actually working backstage for WWE for quite some time, and then once he healed up or whatever, he decided to get back in the ring. And then him and Alex are out, you know, at everywhere, not just Impact, doing, you know, top quality matches, and including, obviously, we just recently seen them at All Out, you know, for the very first time in AEW. So I gotta say, Motor City Machine Guns. Also in Impact, two members of the infamous Bullet Club, friend of the podcast, my homie Chris Bay, Dashing Chris Bay, first black member of the Bullet Club, and also Ace Austin, who I just recently learned is a member of the Bullet Club. Now they are a tag team, and what makes them special is that they're evenly matched in terms of size. They're about the same height, same weight, same speed. Very similar offense. They tend to do things with perfection. They're a very interesting tag team to join the Bullet Club, and I want to see that particular team out the Bullet Club have a bigger run outside of just Impact Wrestling. I want to see them do some more New Japan stuff. I want to see them do Ace Austin and Chris Bay are a phenomenal tag team, and if you have not watched them together, I strongly encourage you watch Impact Wrestling or hop on YouTube, because Impact will occasionally show full matches on YouTube and some of the clips, and just see what they're about for real. I was familiar with both guys before they both joined the Bullet Club, so it was like, they're definitely the vibe. And then of course, you know, you gotta love the Acclaim, you gotta love Swerve and Our Glory. Top favorite, if I had to say, I guess a top favorite out of everybody right now. For me, that's still, I still think the Young Bucks are probably one of the most solid, significant, big tag teams out there. I've been watching the Young Bucks since they were Generation Me in TNA. So I definitely would still say the Young Bucks is at the top of the food chain, but everybody else who I mentioned, solid teams, definitely.
So G1 just went ahead and named like 6 tag teams.
3.
Nah, man, you named like 6. You named Swerve, you named the Acclaim, you named Motor City Machine Guns, you named the Elite. Who else you named? I'm missing some people. And that's 4.
Okay, so 5. So 5 then, because I mentioned Chris Bay and Ace Austin of Bullet Club.
There you go. Yep, 5. That's his top 5.
Yep.
I'm gonna say Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio is my favorite mixed tag team, because any reason for me to see more Rhea is okay with me. So
oh shit.
Somebody said that she seemed like she's become the leader of Judgment Day. What you think about that?
That's fair. I wouldn't necessarily put it past. That's a fair assessment. You know, Especially because she's the one kind of making all the storyline waves out the crew right now. Like let's face it, Finn Balor and Damian Priest are what they are. They're dope, but just with them alone, past the whole Edge thing, there's not a whole lot of story build. Rhea and Dominic are kind of really creating that thing, and it does kind of put her in more of a upfront position in the team. So that's arguable, but I would say yeah.
Well, funny you just said, speaking of storyline and Finn and Damian Priest not having much,
Right.
But if you've seen on Raw, they had a little backstage Finn and AJ moment.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that's going to result in the Finn and AJ Styles feud that we haven't got yet, or do you think that's going to result in AJ Styles joining Judgment Day?
I think main event situation is imminent. It's AJ can have another big baby face run, and he could do it against the Judgment Day with the main target being Finn Balor because of their history together. Now, if you would have asked me this prior to the new Triple H era of creative, I would have said, I don't know, they may have AJ join the Judgment Day or whatever the situation may be. But I feel like if I know Paul Triple H Levesque, like I think I know Paul Triple H Levesque, he knows the main event potential of a Finn Balor and AJ Styles single match. So I think it's a story to be told there in this particular generation of WWE. It's something that could be done, and it's something that could be done extremely well.
Didn't we get that already? Didn't we get Didn't we get Demon Balor, Demon King versus AJ Styles at one point?
We got it, but it wasn't like a match with like a story behind it. It was something that was just really more so for fanfare. This you could really have a build and really make it like a super main eventy thing. You know, Finn doesn't have to do the whole demon shit anymore. Although, why wouldn't Finn break out the demon in Judgment Day with purple paint? I mean, I would think that would be fire. Josh is hilarious.
Because Judgment Day is not a spooky faction. I think originally they were gonna be, but then when disbanding Edge from it and it's just being them, they just trying to be like some greasers, you know, like just some what would an announcer call them? A leather Lothario or some shit.
Spell that.
like Joshua said, like dominatrix type stuff, you know.
Oh man,
they're just trying to be more of the cool bullies. I think they're trying to be right now, and less spooky. So that's why I don't think that he would go demon.
I mean that's another good point. That's another good take on that. I mean it's that's another one of those things that's arguable and definitely only time will tell. It's funny because in lieu of Josh's comment, and for those of you listening, Rhea Ripley and Dominatrix Dominic Mysterio, LMFAO, Dom can't handle the booty. Listen, let's keep it all the way funky. They the same age if we really being honest about it. They're both 25.
Well, if we're gonna keep it all the way funky, she would be taking his booty. So
she would.
She's definitely Poppy. So
I would say so, man. That's my friend.
Somebody was saying that they got like a
Balor goes purple ring.
Man, what the fuck was I just about to say?
That's what we call a brain fart, ladies and gentlemen. It happens every time. It happens to the best of us.
Just saying that that Rhea and Dom look good together or whatever, but I don't want them to progress that in any sort of way with them like that. You know, like I don't want that to progress into a relationship with them. I don't want that to progress into Rhea and Dominic splitting up from the Judgment Day and being their own solo thing.
Yeah, no, that's never gonna happen.
I'd rather them just continue to play it like she's manipulating him. Like,
it's not that type of group. I don't, and then even with Dominic and Rhea plays more to the dark side of things. I don't even think she would agree to a storyline like that on some like Eddie Guerrero and China type shit. Yeah, she's not for that. I think the Judgment Day situation is from the beginning is a perfect fit for her character. And this is something that definitely is going kind of boost Dominic's repertoire. Although Dominic still got to work on his mic skills. Crowd wasn't having it on Raw. They booed that man to death. They wouldn't let him say shit. I don't know if that's just heel heat or promo heat, but one or the other.
I mean, you remember that episode of, I want to say it was Raw, when Roman came out and they didn't let Roman say nothing. He just came out in the ring and stood in the ring with the mic, and then they just booed him, and then he just left. But that was showing that he had made it to the heel level where he was trying to get to, you know?
That's true. That is very true. That's true. So maybe this is Dominic finally making his mark as a heel.
Yeah, I remember watching I was watching Ups and Downs. And he was talking about it, basically saying like I think he said something about how Dominic couldn't help but smile in the ring while he was getting all those boos. Like he had like a smirk on his face because
he loved it. I got over now. Now I got your attention.
So what he needs to work on though is his endurance, because somebody was saying he took his shirt off and he was a little flabby. I ain't out here man shaming nobody or whatever, because you know I'm flabby too, and there's some chunky wrestlers out there, but he needs to work on his endurance as far as not getting winded, because when he tried to hit that Three Amigos, it was looking like he ain't had no pep in his spin, you know.
The spin was a little weak. We were talking about that in our group chat. We was like, swear to God, the non-Mexican Logan Paul is doing a better Three Amigos than Dominic. Yeah, that's weird as hell. But
come on, Dom, that move you was doing was more like the Three Gringos.
Not the Three Gringos. I'm tired.
Right. Let's do your dead father proud, you know. R.I.P. to Eddie.
Oh man. Listen, more on the Dominic and Rey Mysterio, excuse me, Dominic and Rhea Ripley love story in darkness. To come. Clearly there's a lot that I'm imagining that WWE plans on doing with the Judgment Day, ultimately led by them too. Would you even go to the lengths of saying maybe, you know, instead of creating a story like we talked about before, instead of creating a story to where they you know spin off from the Judgment Day eventually and etc., even see Dominic and Rhea as Judgment Day co-leaders with all of this going on? Does her manipulation then help Dominic kind of lead the charge? What you think about that?
Nah, he don't need to be leading nothing. He needs to be at the bottom of the Judgment Day totem pole. I think if anything, what will eventually happen will be him no longer being a heel. Maybe he'll eventually get swayed by Ray or whatever. Who knows? But you know, hopefully that's a long ways away. You know, I hope they don't do this switch and then do another quick switch like the Big Show. But yeah, you know, eventually I can see, you know, kind of like a Randy Orton Wyatt family thing where, you know, he part of it, but then he try to tear it down from the inside type situation.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a good take on that. And speaking of that name, Wyatt, for those of you that may or may not know, the last couple of weeks of WWE live events during commercial breaks for us who are watching it on TV, the crowd has been getting red lights Dark Mood and Jefferson Airplane White Rabbit playing in the arena. And now there's even been an advertisement with that playing. Somebody is coming. Tomorrow's the 23rd. So either a clue or somebody is coming tomorrow. And we kind of all agree that there's probably about a 80 to 90% chance or 80 to 100% chance that this could be the return of Bray Wyatt because of various things that we all kind of pointed out. You know, I know you even brought back to my attention about like the White Rabbit and the Fun House and all that sort of thing. We've seen some shots of him with the Mad Hatter hat on or whatever. So is this the Bray Wyatt that we're looking forward to seeing, a dark but fun gimmick to where he's not wearing a mask, to where he's being himself? And is this just his return, or is he returning with a faction? Are they gonna, or is it gonna be not even necessarily another Wyatt family, but are we talking about like a new fun house here?
Right. Yeah, he could definitely come out with like some people from the Alice in Wonderland movie, like the fucking Fat Twins or the Cheshire Cat or the hookah smoking caterpillar, all that shit, but yeah, I'm not sure, we saw that toy that it was of Bray Wyatt where he was dressed up like the Mad Hatter, but then we saw the picture of him in the Mad Hatter outfit. I'm not sure if that was just prep for the toy, like if they dressed him up like that to shoot it for the toy, but I'm not sure where that image necessarily leaked from. But I could go as far as seeing that could be his new look. Kind of going with the Mad Hatter fits his persona as far as different things that he's been. Even when he was being the Fiend and the Funhouse Bray Wyatt, he had the glove that said what hurt, and the other one said heal. So it was like having a duality or whatever. So being a Mad Hatter is just like the Hulk or Jekyll and Hyde or something. He can be fun but also sinister.
Absolutely.
So that would be a good thing for him to come back with. And as much as Bray puts into his characters and the story and stuff like that, if Triple H does have him coming back, I would hope that he would give him carte blanche on his character, allow him to do and work his character the way he wants to.
And to that point, those are all good points. I've said this a million times. Bray Wyatt was probably one of the best parts of the later half of the remainder of Vince McMahon's WWE. Like he came in, super green, Husky Harris with the Nexus, complete no name, went back down to NXT, reinvented that character. Rest in peace to the late great Brody Lee, who we knew in WWE as Luke Harper. Went back down to NXT, got a whole new stride, and then he just came, and no matter what he did from that point on, whether it was the Wyatt family shit, whether it was the Fiend shit, whether it was I could see him over the course of the next 10 years. If this is him popping up tomorrow or whenever, I can see him over the course of the next 10 years with this kind of, how we talk a lot about how Chris Jericho sort of has this uncanny ability to just kind of get anything he does over. I feel that way with Wyndham, with Bray Wyatt, because like we've literally seen four completely different gimmicks, and three of them have been extremely successful. So if this is it, I look forward to it. I like that they're playing into the licensing of the White Rabbit song. It just really creates a dope vibe to whatever this version of his that we may or may not be getting. So I would just
one of the Steel Cage members said in the group chat, what if they end up putting Bray Wyatt and Karrion Kross together?
Wow. First of all, we're gonna drop a quick bomb for Karrion Kross because I'm a fan.
And that was the Super Jew Jared.
Absolutely. Shout out to
that comment.
Shout out to our boy Jared of the Steel Cage podcast. Love our guys over there. Listen, that alone, if you put them as a tag team, it would be great. But then obviously, if you make him the bruiser of a new Bray Wyatt led faction, with him just being able to really be himself now, or the Cross that we all know, oh man, I feel sorry for a lot of motherfuckers on that roster because that would be a special thing. That would be an extremely special thing.
I mean, Cross has the, good for him and for Triple H for bringing him back, and putting his gimmick back together the way it was, because the gimmick, the entrance, all of that stuff is part of it. Mm-hmm. That makes him what he is. Mm-hmm. But putting him with Bray Wyatt, he kind of would have remember when Braun Strowman first joined the Wyatt family?
Absolutely.
Wearing the sheet mask and stuff like that, just that type of like eerie feeling. He wasn't talking, things like that. I feel like Cross could bring that same type of feeling over if he was to join Bray.
Hell yeah!
Like I said, with the red lights, the stuff that Cross does already, the White Rabbit stuff, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like you said, if that was to be a faction and Cross was to be the heavy, I think that would work well.
Hell yeah. That, man, I'm just geeked. That even being a possibility just made me more excited about what could possibly happen tomorrow. Again, only time will tell. Please tune in to SmackDown tomorrow if you want to find out, because there was a date on that last ad, 9/23. That's tomorrow, that's SmackDown night. We'll see what the hell happens.
And if you don't tune in, you'll get it spoiled. So
of course, go online, find out. Hell, that's how Josh even got back into wrestling, was from spoilers on YouTube.
So you better off just going to watch it. And if not, then just go to the Instagram and just see what happened after it happened, because you're gonna see it anyway.
Hell
I'll be like, why did I even click on this? Like, as soon as I open something, it's like right there, and I'm like, damn, okay, well, I know what happened now.
Yeah, I don't know, and then it's like, I don't, what it is for me and the whole spoiler thing is, yeah, I can hear about it and I can see it, but it's different, I still, me personally, somebody could like watch a whole movie and tell me the script of the entire movie. I still want to, and in my mind, I have to watch the movie, because it's different getting somebody else's interpretation or somebody else's retweet and then really seeing it on the show how it's laid out, or on the movie how it's laid out firsthand. It's just like spoilers don't, or what people consider to be spoilers, half the time it don't even be spoilers. People don't want you to say shit no more. It's like, yeah, in this movie they were eating peanut butter. Oh, don't say peanut butter, you're gonna spoil it. Like, it's okay.
But a spoiler and a surprise arrival is something different.
Correct.
Like in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, we already knew that Steve Krasinski was gonna be Reed Richards. That shit was all over the internet. It had been spoiled way before the movie had came out.
Yeah.
But if Paige coming back as somebody new, which nobody was reporting that, and then you go online and you see that, then you don't get the shock value of getting to be surprised to see that. That's a different kind of spoiler. That takes away from the fun of it.
Now I will say, and it's crazy because the spoiler of her actually signing never happened. And I'm glad that because that was something that I touched on briefly earlier. But yeah, let's talk about that real quick. There was reports that her and AEW had been in conversation. We didn't even know what those conversations were, or if anything had came to fruition. And this was like literally the day before or almost the same day as the pay-per-view, I'll go online. Yeah, the wrestler formerly known as Paige, Soraya Jade, she's been in talks with AEW. So it's all that she's been in talks, and you don't think because somebody has been in talks that right after the women's titles match, she's gonna pop up. So that was a very interesting version of a surprise because we didn't know how that was gonna go. We knew she was talking, but she'd been away from the ring for 5 years. Right. And that was something else that I mentioned earlier before you hopped on, is like I'm interested to see what Soraya with 5-year-old ring rust is about to do in AEW. You know what I'm saying? It's not a whole lot controlled here. Cats is kind of doing what they want, and at one point she was coming off of a injury, and man, I don't know how that's going to do, because there have been like some cringy moments in AEW. Me and you have talked about it, to where it's like, damn, I don't know if that might have been a good idea to do that particular move and that sort of thing. We seen what happened to Ruby Soho with the whole neck shit, and that was weird. So I don't know. I just hope that with her experience, not only is she a wrestler, but I hope that she's a solid locker room leader and just really like gets helps to get the women's locker room of AEW into shape. Like I'm sure Tony Storm is doing, like I'm sure Thunder Rosa is doing, but Soraya comes with experience in and out of one of the more larger stages in pro wrestling, not to mention her family owns an entire promotion in England, which her brother is still the star of. So
I wonder if she's going to play more of a basically like Bailey with damage control type situation. Like, yeah, she didn't show up with a group, but she came up to face down basically Jade and the baddies. So which means that you got to have people under you or to have your back in that sort of situation.
You gotta have gang.
And basically saying like, I wonder if she's going to part-time wrestle, like if she's going to be more of a group leader and face, and still wrestle, or is she going to wrestle full time? Because like you said, the ring rust and the injury, so I'm not sure. Obviously, if she came back, they got plans for her to do something, but just as far as that's going to go, because we didn't see her get physical yet. She just came out. So
and even some coaching. I mean, Madison Rain is doing that. Madison Rain is backstage coach for the AEW women's locker room, and she's been having some matches from time to time. You know what I'm saying? And that's a familiar face. So I would love to see what Soraya's input to the AEW women's locker room is going to look like for the foreseeable future. Josh, I hear you on that. You already know you got it. He talking about he can't afford all them channels to watch. Josh, I hear you on that. You already know you got access to my streaming services. If I got it, you automatically got it. So if you want to watch any of the week of wrestling, all you gotta do is ask me for my stream, my sling, and it's all good. But yeah, man, wrestling is exciting on both sides. Well, on both the main sides. There's obviously other sides to the world of professional wrestling, but on both the main sides of the two main competing brands, WWE and AEW, it's been a lot to speculate. It's been a lot to be excited about. It's been a lot to speculate. It's been a lot to turn up. Also, something else that I touched on briefly a little bit earlier. There's been reports going around that Punk may not be returning, and it may be more so his decision also. Like the rumor is that there's supposed to be a buyout of his AEW contract. There's been no confirmed reports on that yet, but that's the rumor that's been going around the wrestling world, that Punk may just not be coming back in general, whether he's forced not to come back or not. Kevin Nash definitely had a lot to say about that. Now I don't want to promote other podcasts on here, but that's Big Sexy. That's Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash had a lot to say about that. So at least hear that part of it. But yeah, man, I don't know. You know, and obviously we can see from this point going forward that obviously CM Punk is not necessarily making or breaking an AEW locker room, especially now we officially have a new champion. Jon Moxley is officially the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. He's a 3-time champion, not the interim champion.
But that's Big Sexy. That's Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash had a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I was wondering. I heard myself a second. I'm like, what the hell?
A little double up right there,
huh? But yeah, man, like you know, we can clearly see that the AEW locker room tends to be doing well. What about this ROH title situation and the fact that Jericho, for the very first time in his career, has won the Ring of Honor World Championship? This is big building. This is a big story build because this is the sports entertainer winning the wrestling title. So
right.
What is
luckily for him, it wasn't the pure title because he was in there smacking hands and shit. They would have been like, "Whoa, you're out of here." They would have got it out of here.
Hell yeah!
We show honor over here, buddy. What are you doing?
Exactly. Oh man, but yeah, it's great. It's great booking because here he is now, by cheating the Ring of Honor, breaking the code of honor. He is the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, and then somebody who he's affiliated with is the pure champion. Does care about professional wrestling. So then this story can be built on two sides. I love what they're doing with this. It was
returning, and it may be more so on two sides. I love what.
Why do we keep doing that? My bad.
I don't know. What are you doing?
That was me on Facebook. I was trying to read the comments on the video on Facebook.
Okay. Oh, you can't you can't see him on your side in the what am I trying to say? The StreamYard?
Nah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I guess that only works on the primary profile or whatever. We'll figure that out. But anyhow,
I only see what you post up in a ticker.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of comments, by the way. It's all just my friend Josh. Just Josh being Josh. One day I'm gonna get him on the show so he can share his opinions or something. One day I'll definitely get him on the show. But
yeah, like you were saying, Jericho has basically been the champ everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know?
That's what he called the Ocho. This is his 8th world title win. Jericho has had a championship only with the exception of TNA or Impact Wrestling. Jericho has held a title in every major wrestling promotion on the market now, and now the Ring of Honor World Champion, and again, as we mentioned, he is now the sports entertainer holding the title that is prestigious with wrestling. So what does that now mean with him and Daniel Garcia's relationship already on the rocks, and
right,
and everything beyond that? He's going to have to defend that belt. He's going to have some interesting matches. I'm sure there'll be a rematch with him and Claudio. I definitely look forward to the rematch. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because Daniel Garcia has the pure title,
right?
So exactly. now 2 members of the Jericho Society have both of the ROH titles.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was mentioning. I'm like, his boy got the pure championship. So what does that
do? Daniel Garcia needs to challenge Jericho for the ROH heavyweight title. They should do a match where they put both titles on the line so that Daniel Garcia can become a double champion and he can hold both ROH titles.
If they do that, he gotta have another championship entrance. They gotta bring West Side Gun back. If they do that, I'll be damned. And we seen him yesterday also, front row, all black.
I would need that to happen at a big event. I would need that to happen like at the inaugural ROH TV.
I would like that,
or something like that. You know,
I would like that.
Build up to that where where now when you have your second or third brand or whatever you want to call it, getting some airtime or do a ROH themed pay-per-view. They've done one already, haven't they? So
they've done two. They've done Super Card of Honor and they've done Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah, so either one or the other, either on a ROH TV show or on a ROH themed pay-per-view to have.
I'm with you because it's easy for them to do the ROH pay-per-view. I know that Tony is still, working the TV deal with ROH, and it's interesting because there'll be a kind of a network merger that's supposed to be happening at the top of next year sometime. So I'm sure he's probably going through it with that.
But where are the ROH wrestlers? Like, that's why he got AEW people holding the straps, because the only Samoa Joe got a strap. But other than that, I mean, remember the issue with Gresham? I ain't seen or heard from him since he dropped the title.
Yeah, that's true. I think he's just like taking a break from wrestling, period. Last time I seen Jonathan Gresham, there's a post from today by Jordan Grace. Shout out to Jordan Grace. There's a post today with him and Jordan Grace. No. We see a lot of that, but
right, she posts that all the time. That's why I was
right. No, not that. They were both in their home gym in their garage, and she's walking up to him. It's funny because they're literally the same height. It's hilarious. They swole as hell, and they literally the same fucking height, both like 5'2" or some shit. But she runs over there to John. John picks her up, kind of holds her like that, and then they do it the other way where she picks John up, and it's just like, yo, that don't make no sense that she that damn strong. He's holding him up there. He got the legs around. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah, man. So I just found that to be funny as hell because I didn't realize that's a testament to how short Jonathan Gresham is, because they're, when I say literally the same height, that is not an exaggeration. That shit was funny. I'm like, they could be a tag team. There's no reason why they can't be a tag. Oh shit! But anyway,
the reason they can't be a tag team is because they weren't wrestling at the same promotion. That's the only reason.
Right?
To be a mixed tag team. Give them the mixed tag team titles.
And hey, that would be fine.
Where's Sammy Guevara and Tayante or whatever?
It's Ty Mello. Yeah. That would be interesting, like the belt that they have now, which is from another promotion, which is like a mixed tag belt. Maybe Jonathan and Jordan need to go for that. That'd be an interesting turn of events there. But yeah, you're right. Where are I know the Briscoes are doing a little bit of indie work. They did some dates with Impact. Not officially signed, but I know they did some dates for Impact and they did some dates in the Indies. The rest of and then another former ROH guy, Josh Woods, he's with Tony Nese up under Smart Mark Sterling, and he's a former ROH dude. He came in to AEW as the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Wheeler had to beat him for that. So so we got a couple of the core Ring of Honor guys there, and then obviously
they're just few and far between, And we're talking about that. Oh Lord, let me look around and make sure CM Punk ain't nowhere by me.
Oh Lord,
because we talked about who being over there at ROH. But then Lee Booker Megaran had broke some news to us and said that no, he's not at ROH. He's independent right now. So
okay. Interesting. Whew.
And don't know if who had anything to do with that or if that was already a thing to begin with. That's one of those situations where it's so touchy over there because it's like you don't want to be the reason people getting moved around or getting fired.
Right. Definitely.
just because y'all have bad blood with each other.
Hell But man, I mean, only time will tell. And again, on the side of SmackDown, also tune in to Rampage tomorrow. Rampage Grand Slam will be a special 2-hour Rampage. Same thing they did last year. Pretty much Rampage was already filmed the same night that they did the Dynamite Grand Slam. So only those of us watching it on TV will be seeing it for the first time tomorrow. But those who were there got to see some things.
Yeah, I happened to see a few people that I know on Instagram that was there, live at the Grand Slam. So they got to see Dark already. So they already got to see the Hook and Action Bronson match.
Man, I look forward to that shit. I can't wait.
I said all of that stuff.
Right, it's Hook and Action Bronson versus Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo Parker.
Yeah, my homie Right Guard 718 on Instagram, Jose, he was there. Saw him in the crowd. He got his picture with West Side Gun.
Boom.
Of course, so it's necessary. It's a rite of passage. If you at AEW, you get your picture with West Side Gun. That's how it goes.
Boom.
You comes a ticket. You get a chair and you get a picture with West Side Gun.
Hey, we got a picture with West Side Gun at a Ring of Honor New Japan event at MSG. I think that right there will always stick out in my mind.
You got chairs. I got a AEW chair now.
Yeah, had chairs. We do got to get an AEW chair. You're right about that. I would love to have an AEW chair. I damn near might order one just to have one. I might get the All Out chair.
I've sat close at an AEW event, like we sat close when we were in DC. But yeah, I don't know if they had chairs at that particular event. But
no, because it was just like a regular weekly.
At the events that they do have chairs, I need to sit closer so that I can get one.
It's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna happen. More if I promise to God, if I got to keep going to cities I ain't never been to for AEW shows, I'm not complaining at all. And clearly, me and you have essentially traveled together amongst ourselves, so we good either way.
They have not came to Arizona yet, to Phoenix.
Man, I'm like, yo,
closest they've been is Vegas and LA, and I did not make it to the LA shows. So
man, I wanted to be at the show with the Forum so bad. I'm so mad I didn't make it to that one, but it's cool. When they spin the block, I'll be there. I love AEW. They'll be around. But yeah, man, listen, a lot of wrestling in the world out there. Please check it out. Tune in. Whoever you watch, do what you do.
Another shout out to AEW and the New York rap roots would be Stokely Hathaway's group, The Firm.
Yeah, I mentioned that was most likely going to be the title of this episode, Firm Biz. Yeah, man, we got the Firm.
For you, baby. Firm Biz.
Hell yeah, man. Now I remember Mac was a big fan of the Firm, so naturally I listened to it alongside him back in the day. But yeah, man, we got the Firm, and clearly they with the shits. They backing up MJF. We seen W. Morrissey, who the rest of the general wrestling world may know as Big Cass. He came out there and choked the motherfucker.
How you feel about him being
back? He's in shape. He has a great look.
He does look like he's slimmed down.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of watching W. Morrissey a few times, separated from Enzo just on the indies as he was starting to tone up and as he's starting to get better. I like his look now, and I think he's obvious. He wasn't bad on the mic then, so it'd be interesting. You know, he's not bad on the mic now, so he has kind of all the things that he would need to be great. It's just really up to him to really take that type of shit to the next level. So I like it.
There's a possibility that he could be that he could be MJF's new Wardlow.
And why not? Why not? He's taller than Wardlow. He's bigger than Wardlow. Like this is a whole another animal.
And if you want to get somebody over, even though he's a returning wrestler, so people already kind of know who he is. But for those that don't, that's how you know Wardlow. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, it's a perfect scenario. It's a perfect scenario for all of them. For eventually as Lee Moriarty is getting more involved, and All Ego Ethan Page is already dope in my opinion. So this will be a interesting push for him. I missed the Man of the Year angle, but this will be interesting because I wanted to see him in more solo based stuff anyway. So while he has to represent the firm, Ego's his own man, W. Morrissey's his own man, Lee Moriarty's his own man. So, well, only time will tell. But I'm excited about where it's going.
So you brought up the Man of the Year stuff, but yeah, it seemed like after Scorpio Sky lost the title to Wardlow, it wasn't no big implosion, but everybody just went their separate ways. Like Dan Lambert ain't been on TV no more since then. He probably went back to doing whatever he was doing before then, just being a coach at his training facility or something like that. But and then Scorpio Sky got injured, didn't he?
Yeah, Scorpio Sky got injured.
I'm not sure if that was because I think he was injured before he had the title match with Wardlow, and that's why it had got pushed back or something. So I'm not sure if that had anything to do with him dropping the title either, if he was still injured or not. But I haven't seen him on TV since he lost the title.
He had maybe one or two matches after the belt, but I don't think he lost the belt because of the injury. But I do think that then created an opportunity that he like, well,
time off.
Yeah, because like I was gonna drop the belt to Wardlow anyway. Now I kind of have no choice, so let me just go ahead and take this L for bro, so he can be the man. And that's all good. Man, so with all the craziness in this week of wrestling, man, any final thoughts come to mind? Ooh, you a little choppy, my brother. You a little choppy, just a tad. Let's see. Right now, we all good. Right now, we all good. Repeat it again. Go ahead.
I want to be as happy as Sami Zayn when he comes out with the Usos.
Man, the bloodline. Solo Sikoa. We didn't talk about some, man.
Solo Sikoa told the Usos, y'all hang back and take Sami Zayn out with me.
Man, listen, Sammy
came out so excited about that. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sammy is the heart and soul of the bloodline. I don't care what nobody says. Real shit.
The only member of the bloodline with no title.
But he got the most.
He got the title of best dancer.
Right, and he probably got the biggest push out that whole crew except for Roman. That's wild as hell. I
saw somebody say that that they only keep Sami Zayn around so that he can babysit their little brother now.
That's fucked up. Man, Safer been around for a while. Excuse me, Solo. He been around for a minute, man. He'll be all right. That's funny. That was a hilarious take. But listen, guys, before we get up out of here, couple of things. Do we have a burial?
I don't know. Who did something fucked up this week?
Oh, I could actually. I got a perfect answer to that question. It's not even so much of a burial. So right before we hopped on the show, or right before I kicked off the show, I hopped in a Twitter space with our friends at the Lady Blurs, Kylie and company. They were around and they were doing a Twitter space, and Kylie had DM me. He's like, man, she's like, hop in this conversation real quick. I'm like, cool. I was setting up the show, so I had a sec, and they were talking about, I forgot the gentleman's name. Forgive me, I don't watch a whole lot of basketball, people, but I forgot the gentleman's name that owns or is the lead coach or owns the Boston Celtics organization.
Oh, I know what you're about to say, but you just
Yeah.
reminded me of something else. So go ahead and say that, and then I got an actual burial.
Yeah, absolutely. So it ain't even so much of what he did that's the burial, but how he did it, and the fact that automatically when you black and you do something fucked up, they're gonna make a target out of you. So he's suspended right now from the Celtics organization for sleeping with
Celtics or Celtics?
Some people say Celtics, some people say Celtics. I don't know. So he's been suspended from the Celtics organization for banging not one but two coworkers. And keep in mind that this is the boyfriend and fiance of only one of the baddest women in entertainment since the 90s, Nia Long. You got Nia at the crib, and for whatever reason, you fumbling the ball with two coworkers. I don't, and I ain't in their bed, I ain't in their room, so I don't know what the whole vibe of that is. But I just think on a public perspective, and then I found out that he was being hella messy and he was getting it cracking like in the locker rooms. And when they weren't around, he's in the locker room spanking his monkey. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, what are you doing at work with your freak body at? Like, chill, bro. So I gotta bury bro because it's like, everybody at some point didn't fuck the coworker or whatever the situation may be. But all that other just nasty.
I mean, I ain't burying nobody for fucking their coworker at work. Who ain't fuck their coworker at work?
Right. No, I'm not burying him for that neither. I'm burying him for the way he's going about it and all the other messy shit. Like, again,
man, man, I guess things that I shouldn't say on the podcast. If I was a basketball coach and I was smashing the locker room, the perfect place. The team out there playing. Y'all play. I'll let the assistant coach run y'all drills for a second. I got to go to the bathroom real quick, and I go back there and, smack real quick, smash something.
He's smanging in the locker room.
And then the team come back, at halftime and wonder why the locker room smelling like pussy.
Right. And but it's like, not only that, it's the kink. He's spanking his monkey in the locker room. Like, what is you doing, bro? Like, you rich, you have access to vehicles and places, homes, and other resources to get it cracked. You already know what the public perception gonna be like.
Hey, man, he'll be all right. This is just a minor setback in order for a bigger comeback. We just shouted out Paige returning, and she had
but again,
with the gold belt doing unmentionable things. So
right.
I mean,
but she wasn't. But number one, she wasn't doing any of this stuff at actual places of business. And I mean, the footage.
We don't know. No, that was that particular footage. She was working with people that she was also in relations with. So I'm pretty sure.
Right.
But whatever happened at a set.
Right. But whatever happened, she wasn't being super messy about it. And what I mean by that is to say it was her private footage that was only meant to go to only one or two people that got out.
How was people finding out that he was jerking off in the locker room?
This is stuff that's coming up on like camera and shit like that and different things. And it's like,
I mean, that's his fault then. He should know where the camera is and the angles. He should know that if you're gonna beat off in the locker room, you got to do that off in the corner and not not just in the middle.
It's just some messy shit that you just shouldn't be doing. You just shouldn't be doing anyway. In general, it's not that you shouldn't be doing it, but the way you went about it was just messy. So I gotta bury him not for the action, but for the messiness of the action. Man, and then go ahead.
Kanye called it a long time ago.
What part?
Every sheet that I skeeted on, chick that I cheated on.
every girl I cheated on, skeeted on, couldn't leave her alone. Thought I needed
a knee alone. Thought he did, but what he really needed was a what's her role? Vice coach, vice assistant, something.
I only seen the woman's face. And she wasn't bad looking. I only seen the woman's face. I don't even know what her official position is. Like I said, forgive me, y'all who are watching this and listening. I don't watch basketball like that, so I don't really know a lot about who's who. But this
men are dogs, and we don't have our female correspondent on right now. So he had Nia Long at home, and Nia Long got her own bread, and he was still out doing his thing. Jay-Z got Beyonce, and he still was doing his thing.
Man,
it don't really matter who you are. Somebody said if Nia Long getting cheated on, we all getting cheated on.
Oh yeah.
But no, what it really is that no matter how beautiful somebody is, handsome somebody is, somebody is somebody's headache. So
absolutely,
we don't know these people personally. We don't know how they are every day. We don't know how their lives are. So we can only go off of, oh my God, he had the opportunity to be with her. I can't believe he messed that up. But you don't know what he's dealing with.
Of course. And that was something else that I was gonna bring up too. Like that. Well, that's why I mentioned earlier. Like I'm not in a bedroom, so I don't know what led up to this going on. And I'm not even so much burying dude because of what he did. It's how he's doing it, considering that he is a public figure as part of the NBA and he's black. Like you already know, black folks we unfortunately can't make mistakes because we're the ones that get the biggest examples made out of. Meanwhile, if this was Bartholomew Goldstein, owner of coach of the Celtics or whatever, like I don't even think he'd be suspended right now. And it's not to say that dude doesn't deserve to be suspended for being messy, but you see the point. It's like, come on, dude.
Here's my retort to that, and also my burial. So, Phoenix Suns owner, Robert Sarver.
Let's talk about this guy.
But you were saying that if he was white, that he wouldn't even get a suspension. But this guy is being forced to sell both of his teams, so he has to sell the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury because of some racist shit that he said or did. Which is good. Get his white racist ass out of here.
Yeah,
and the thing is that, and it did take a lot of NBA players to get together and voice their opinions through social media and things like that for the NBA to take a stronger approach towards it because of at first it was just suspension or something, but yeah, now he's being forced to sell the company. And that's good. Get some new ownership out of here. I mean, in here, get some younger ownership in here if you can. Like Mega Ran said, he should be forced to sell to some minority people. He should have to sell the Mercury to a woman owner. Just different things so that we can get these teams handled differently and just out of this whole old money. Rich white old fucking what's the word that I want to use?
Bigot, tyrant, whatever you want. Everything, all of that.
Big house.
Yeah.
What's them shits called? The plantation owners. All of that shit. Let's get these old 80-year-old owners that look at they players like property,
right? And in short, show goof ass down. That's what they need to do. Like if you're racist and you're part of the NBA, which is only popular because of black folks, then yeah, you shouldn't even be part of that. That's a whole nother situation in itself, completely isolated from that, because that's just like, dude, really at this point, word, that's what we doing? Come on, bro.
And for the snack of the week, let's give it to the chick on the Celtics who he was smashing. No.
He gonna say for the snack of the week, give it to who he was smashing.
She earned it, right? She earned something. We wouldn't know her face or anything else if it wasn't for that. She only known for smashing.
Oh man!
Or we could give it to the chick Adam Levine was smashing.
Oh my god! And I just barely heard about that, so that was like new news to me as of only maybe 40 minutes ago. Well, not 40 minutes ago, but
I've been seeing the memes that people been making out of his text messages. They've been clowning.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know what that was, bro. Like I started seeing Adam Levine in these text messages. I didn't know what that was about. That's just let you know I don't really be tuned into like the dramatic shit like that. Like I like Adam Levine because of Maroon 5. When it started diving into some of this other shit that be going on, I'll be like, God damn. I just have to back away. And I'll be like, "What?"
I think somebody said that he's married to a supermodel or something, but he smashed the Instagram thought. So
man, yeah, never fails. You're right. Nobody's safe if they really not happy. Nobody's safe. That's real. Right. So
it ain't safe. It ain't
safe. Yeah, man. No,
go ahead and hit your snack of the week, Tone. I got one.
Man, wow. My
no, snack... I said hit your tune. Hit your tune.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So we now go into the Mania snack of the week. Snack of the week. Who's your snack?
Nia Long, I know you had a long week. Hopefully, if you're watching this, or if somebody you know sends you the link.
He couldn't wait. How did I know that was going to happen? Your ass couldn't wait. Nia Long, you will continuously be the queen. Somewhere between you and Sanaa Lathan, y'all will forever be the queen. But specifically talking about Nia Long, you will forever be the queen. Please don't let that
forever be the snack of the week. Snack of the week.
Wait, say it one more time.
Snack of the week. I said she'll forever be the snack of the week also. But yeah. Dude, I saw an interview with her where somebody was who was it? I forget who asked her this question, but somebody was asking. Yeah, did you see it asking her about
I seen it when it happened. Yeah, I seen that video when it happened.
And her saying that J. Cole not too young, and now everybody
he just don't know it yet.
Right, but J. Cole is trending on Twitter now because everybody had been sharing that now and talking about J. Cole. You can get your shot now because of relationship issues. I can't hear you. There you go. What was you saying?
No, I was like for J. Cole, I was sending this as a message to J. Cole. J. Cole, tell your girl you need a hall pass. You go ahead and get that cracking. One time for the fun time.
Nia Long, let me tell you this. You had a good thing. Don't know if I'm gonna see you again. Cause that coach ain't about to be your man. No, ma'am. Better start going to some J. Cole basketball games over there in Canada or Africa or something.
On my soul, he getting it in on the courts. But yeah, man, snack of the week, Nia Long. I could vouch for that, definitely.
Go watch you some what's that? Kanye West Touch the Sky.
The Touch the Sky video is still
with fellow Chicago native Lupe.
Yes, sir. Lupe Fiasco. That was my introduction to Lupe. I think that was a lot of people's introduction to Lupe, but that was definitely my introduction to Lupe. That's for
sure. Lupe came in dropping them anime bars all in that song, talking about Mumra and talking about Lupin the Third. He was.
Wait. Hold on one second. Oh, Jesus.
What happened? You got unplugged?
All right. Weird technical difficulty type shit. Repeat that one more time for me.
Oh, I said Lupe came in dropping them anime bars as soon as he came in, talking about
Lupin the Third.
Talking about Lupin the Third.
Yeah, he came right in.
He said he dropping them Thundercat bars, Lionel.
I'm trying to stop lying like a mum rob, but I'm not lying when I'm laying on the beat. A touche Lupe, cool as the undog, but I still feel possessed as a gun charge. Come as correct as a porn star. Still one of the hardest lines ever.
Who's on third? Lupe, still like Lupin the Third.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, legendary. You get you some Nia Long in that video, and you get you some who else is in that video?
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Tracy Ellis, yeah. Mm-hmm. You only want the tits. What about the ass?
Man, because Tracy got plenty of it. But with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Again, it's a lot of wrestling out there. If you into it, which we're assuming that you into it in even the slightest capacity, if you listening to us, so whatever your product of choice is, check it out. But it's a lot on all sides, and it's a lot of talent.
While you out here, if you throw somebody the peace sign and they happen to put a peace sign in the middle of yours like that, don't get offended, okay?
Yeah, don't get offended, man. Scissoring is a thing now, so we just got to take it for what it is. It's the new DX chop.
It's the new Too Sweet. Instead of throwing knees up, we're going to be throwing knees up.
I can't put it in place of the Too Sweet, but I can replace the DX chop for a little while. Too Sweet is special.
We're gonna start, instead of saying "too sweet me when you see me," you're gonna say "scissor me when you see me."
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna go that far, but without any further ado, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. It has been a wonderful hour and 42 minutes with you guys. We really appreciate you hanging out with me early on when I first came in, and we appreciate you hanging out with us when my boy T Call came through. At some point, we'll get the gang back together, and we'll all have cookies and cakes and pies and ice cream and and talk about that. But me and T Call gonna hold it down. And we're going to make sure y'all get your wrestling news. We're going to make sure y'all get your hip-hop culture shit on. Rand just came back from off tour. Glad he's home and doing his thing, man. Y'all tap in with Mega Rand. Y'all know he got a lot of stuff going on. T got a lot of stuff going on. Album on the way. Chinatown. Crazy. I got a lot of stuff going on. Album on the way. 1313. Myself and Ron Mac. Self-titled debut. Going crazy.
Me and Rand got a show in October.
I know
he's gonna be doing more things in October with MC Front a lot. I think they're going on like a mini tour in October.
Yes, sir.
But he also will be here October 30th, which is a Sunday, day before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
We will be having a show at Monarch Theater, downtown Phoenix, the Halloween show. Put on by House and Respect the Underground.
I was just about to say, shout out to the Respect the Underground family, Justice and Felix and company, man. This is an impromptu album release party for me. So not sure if I'll be doing another one after this one, but I will have the album on deck and merch on deck. So come on out and check out the new shit. I think the second thing that you should do for that project, and we'll talk about this more off the grid, but the second thing you should do for that should be like a big ass listening party, like, because we're doing one final listen for our album in the other studio where it's more room over there in Brian's suite at HKS. But I feel like maybe have people listen to the whole album at a venue somewhere. People like big listening parties and shit like that, and you can still sell merch if you really wanted to,
Yeah.
I think it'd be a fire idea, but again, we'll talk about that off the grid.
If I was doing it, I'd probably try to make it like industry, like DJs and
industry mixer.
Yeah, to listen to it. You know, maybe a couple randos, but mainly just the who's who.
Yeah,
the creme of the crop. You know.
Absolutely. No, I feel that entirely, man. But yeah, support us out here. Support the podcast, Random Beaks, Geekscape, Matt Mania podcast. On behalf of myself, my brother T. Call, y'all already know what it is. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode. This has been Matt Mania Podcast, episode 211. And as always important, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you get slammed by life, please keep your shoulders off
the mat.
And we out this bitch like a newborn baby. I'll let you boys. Peace. Scissor me, daddy ass.
Phoenix, Arizona. Everyone loves Matt Mania Podcast.
Right. When is the Acclaim going to arrive in Phoenix? Come on, AEW.